Be that delusional friend who's always cheering for you. Be your own high person. Yo. Learn to say beautiful things to yourself every day. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You walk around feeling awesome. Not a bad side effect, right? Here's the catch. The question isn't, is it possible? The question is, are you willing to believe in yourself enough to make it happen? Are you willing to believe in your vision so fiercely that it propels you to move forward, no matter the obstacles? Because if you are, then there's no limit to what you can achieve. And this episode is for you. Hey guys, welcome back to another classic episode of Becoming Better at Humanity. If you're new here, my name is Judith, and I use my life lessons to train people to get into their greatness. Wherever you are, wherever you are, whatever it is that you engaged in, I am back to remind you that you have greatness in you. Yes, you have the ability to do more than you can imagine or even begin to imagine. So please, quit playing with your potential. On today's episode, I want us to talk about something that has the power to change your life entirely. Yes, this episode is going to be a game changer for you, because it was for me. I want us to talk about something that has the potential to change all of our lives entirely. You see, this world that we are living in, with a lot of challenges and uncertainties, there's one unstoppable force that lies within each and every one of us, all of us, young and old, male and female. There's one unstoppable force that lies within each and every one of us that can carve paths where none seem to exist, that can take you places where you've never been before. And you know what that one unstoppable force is? The power of self-belief. Yes. If you think that I'm lying, try it. The power of self-belief. Self-belief is the heartbeat of every dream ever realized, every boundary ever broken. When we are bold enough, it only requires you to be bold. When we are bold enough to imagine something greater, when we are bold enough to ask big, then our mind acts as a strategic partner, constantly searching for opportunities, solutions, creative pathways that leads us closer to our vision. And this isn't just wishful thinking. No, this isn't wishful thinking. This is the science of belief at work. Our mind constantly shapes our reality. It shapes your reality based on what you believe you can achieve. If you think that you can, whatever it is that you believe that you can achieve, if you think that you can get that degree, if you think that you can get that scholarship, build that mansion, our mind shapes our reality, shapes your reality based on what you believe you can achieve. Guys, self-belief is the birthplace of all greatness. I can say that over and over again. That is where it all starts. Self-belief, it's where it all starts. Every invention, that is where it all starts. Self-belief is the birthplace of all greatness. I was reading another article the other day. It was some writer who was speaking about the human mind. And he talked about something so intense. He was saying that Our mind is so remarkable because it's wired to find us ways, solutions, pathways, ideas that match our beliefs. Yes? So once you think that something is possible, even if it's beyond what seems realistic at first, your mind kicks into action, shifting how you see yourself, how you interpret your challenges, how you respond to setbacks. Imagine that. That mind shift changes everything. It changes everything. It's as though once the mind is fully convinced, when it's fully convinced, then it signals the world to respond in kind. And how does the world respond in kind? If, for example, you wanted resources for a certain project, let's say, for example, you wanted to build a mansion, you will see resources. You will find resources, or you will find these opportunities. You will find people coming your way wanting to do this and this. You will find that job that you are looking for. You don't have to do anything. You only have to believe it's possible. That is self-belief. I know you've all had it before. Believe in yourself. In school, we were told, believe in yourself. Once you wanted to do some task that needed some sort of courage, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. I remember when I was young, growing up, when we were going to music festival, when I could get to that stage, I remember my teacher could always tell me, believe in yourself. We've all had it before, believe in yourself. But how many of us have ever taken time to understand how powerful that belief can be? How many of us? And it's not self-encouragement. It's more than self-encouragement. Because you know what? Sometimes the world tells you no. You go looking for a job. Every door that you knock, everyone shuts the door back at you. Your circumstances scream no. Yes, you're dreaming about these big dreams, but you look at your circumstances and they're screaming no. You want to buy that car, but you see yourself driving that Mercedes Benz, that Tesla, but your circumstances scream no. You look at what you're doing, how you've done business, and nothing good is coming out of everything, and then you're like, your circumstances scream no. But you know what? There's like a voice inside that keeps saying, what if it's possible? As much as you want to say no, as much as you want to give in to these doubts, as much as you want to listen to what your friends are saying, there's this voice that is saying, what if it's possible? What if, Judith, it's possible? What if it's possible? And imagine that is Elon Musk for you. You see this, I have said that this self-belief is the crazy kind. It's more than self-encouragement. It's this crazy kind that demands you to think that it's possible. That is Elon Musk for you. A guy who is crazy enough to think that we can colonize Mars. Mars, guys. Some of us struggle to get out of bed in the morning. The alarm goes, you snooze it. Let me sleep 5 minutes. Let me do this and that. You want to do something and then let me go through social media. Let me scroll one more time. Let me give myself 5 minutes. Most of us struggle to getting out of bed, just getting out of bed. And then there's this guy who wakes up thinking, hey, let us go to planet 54.6 million kilometers away. Delusion, right? Everyone thought he was delusional when he started SpaceX. They laughed at him. They talked about him. They criticized him. That is what happens when you have a vision. You know, when you have a vision, no one, it's your vision. So people will not understand. People will not understand. So people thought he was crazy. People thought he was out of his mind. People laughed at him, especially when during the first 3 rocket launches, when they failed, people told him to quit. People told him so many things. That is what happens when you start something and it's not, it doesn't, people, you don't see results. People tell you to quit. People tell you you're wasting resources. People tell you you're wasting time. But you know what? Elon Musk just doubled on his self-belief. On his 4th trial, SpaceX was a success. Now his delusion is shaping the future of space travel. That is the beauty of self-belief. It's crazy, it's delusional until it happens. People thought he was delusional until it succeeded. Elon Musk didn't encourage himself. He committed to it. He committed to it, meaning true self-belief isn't a feeling. You not only envision success, but you subconsciously take the steps that are going to get you to the place it is that you want to go. Self-belief isn't a feeling, guys. It's not a feeling. It's a commitment. And to truly believe in yourself, you have to push past your own doubts. That voice of critics, that voice telling you that, Judith, you're not smart enough. Judith, you are not beautiful enough. You have to push past that. Because let me tell you guys, believing in something that you haven't seen, getting to believe in something you can't yet see is one of the bravest things that can ever happen to you. But again, it's the most rewarding thing that can ever happen to you. You guys know David from the Bible. Yes, this one David. David's self-belief was truly the kind that borders on what most people would call delusion. This story is found in 1 Samuel chapter 17. It's one of my favorite stories from the Bible. So David walks into the battlefield as an unarmed shepherd. I'm thinking as he's walking to the field, Goliath is looking at him and thinking, seriously, guys, David was just an adolescent, remember? And there's this giant. He's looking at David and is thinking, really? Really? And I'm sure that is how most people look at us when we are trying something out. Some people look at us and they're thinking, really, what can you offer? You're trying to start, you have an idea, but people are looking at you and they're thinking, do you have the resources? Do you have the knowledge? Who lied to you? Yes? So David walks to the battlefield as an unarmed shepherd. Remember, he had taken food to his brother, so he was not armed. He had nothing on himself. I remember even when he went to Saul, the king gave him some clothes, and I don't know how the king, in some way, I think the king saw some potential in David. I don't know. But that is how sometimes, even if that is something I have come to learn, when everybody else thinks that you have nothing to offer, there's that one person who believes in what you do. And when you are consistent enough, that itself will now give you a lot of people to come to enjoy whatever it is that idea that you're offering. So he walks to the battlefield as an armed shepherd, surrounded by trained soldiers who believed that defeating Goliath was impossible. Goliath was not only a giant, how he looked and all that, but he had a reputation. They knew him as undefeated. He was an undefeated warrior because no one had ever defeated him before. And the king had said that whoever that was going to defeat this Goliath and kill him, then he could give them a lot of wealth and even give his daughter for marriage. And no one had balls, no one had this boldness to come and face this Goliath. So, and I'm thinking Goliath was looking at David and is like, are you serious? Are you for real? So, David walks to face Goliath. Everybody else looks at the scenario and they already know that David is a dead man. David, without any previous battle experience, believed that he was going to bring the giant down. David's belief didn't rely on external evidence. He didn't have to see anyone to defeat Goliath to know that it was possible, because no one had ever defeated Goliath. But he had this deep conviction within himself. He believed that he was going to win. Yes, he carried a deep conviction within himself, something that no one else could understand or see. That is how you see your vision. They won't understand. They won't know. That itself should give you reason to continue trying. They won't know. Only you know what you will get out of it. So David told King Saul, it's in verse 37, right? The 37, 38. So David told Saul, the Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the bear will rescue me from this Philistine. The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the bear will rescue me from this Philistine. David was drawing on a fierce inner confidence, an absolute belief that had nothing to do with everyone around him and everything to do with himself. David didn't stop to consider the odds, the size of Goliath, or the doubts of everyone around him, because everyone looked at him and they assumed that he was already a dead man. He didn't wait for proof or wait for someone to give him a go ahead. He created his own possibility by his unshakable determination to act. This is the kind of belief that we call delusion, delulu. This is the kind of belief that borders on what most people could call delusion. The kind of belief that doesn't rely on evidence, any past evidence, but on unyielding inner conviction. So David went and approached Goliath, carried his stones and approached Goliath. And you know what we learned from that? David approaching Goliath, it's a moment that shows us that sometimes we are seated there waiting for signs. It was a sign telling us that true belief doesn't sit waiting for signs. No. It acts. You step forward in boldness. David stepped forward, creating the very evidence that others could be waiting for. And you know what that is? That is the beginning of true self-belief. The willingness to believe in the impossible. Just be willing to believe in the possible. That is the first step. The willingness to believe in the impossible. And then number 2, to step forward in boldness. And 3, create this possibility where others are saying uncertainty. So when David slung that stone, He turned that self-belief into victory. Yes, that very moment, it's a moment that shows us that to truly believe in something, you don't need evidence, you don't need proof. Yes, you don't need evidence, you don't need proof. To truly believe in something, you have to be willing to embrace a vision that seems irrational, even impossible to everyone else. But that is the kind of self-belief that births greatness. Think about it. Every major invention, every revolutionary idea was once considered impossible. Yes, the Wright brothers were told humans could never fly. Steve Jobs was told a personal computer for every home was absurd. But these people believed in their vision so fiercely that they made the world bend to their will. Believe in your vision so fiercely that the world bends to your will. Thomas Edison. You guys know Thomas Edison, right? Edison's journey to creating the light bulb was marked by thousands of failed attempts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thousands of failed attempts. He tried 10,000 times. 10,000, guys. 10,000. 10,000 times before he finally succeeded. Every attempt was a reason to stop, a confirmation that the idea was impossible. But Edison saw it differently. How many times have you tried on that idea that you're quitting on? How many times? There's this guy who has tried 10,000 times. I bet you've not even reached 20 times, not even 10, not even 5 times, and you're thinking of quitting. Really? You have a YouTube channel that because people are not subscribing, you're quitting. How many videos have you done? Have you even gotten to 100, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000? Edison saw it differently. He famously said, I have not failed. I have not failed. I've only found 999 ways that won't work. I look at Edison's story and I say, you think that you are resilient? No, you're not. You are not. You think that the world is unfair? No, you are not. Every major invention, every revolutionary idea was once considered impossible. Edison famously said, I have not failed, but I have found 9,999 ways that won't work. His belief in his vision was so fierce that he was willing to create the evidence himself. His belief in his vision was so fierce that he didn't want evidence. He didn't want proof to justify his pursuit. He didn't want evidence to justify his pursuit. You don't need proof to make that idea a reality, to make that dream a reality. He believed so strongly in the possibility of electric light that he was willing to create the evidence himself. And that belief was rooted so deeply in himself that every failed attempt was a reason for him to keep pushing forward. I believe he kept telling himself, we are closer, we are getting there, we are getting there. We are not going to stop until we get to that final destination. Yes? He believed that light from electricity was a dream that no one had seen before. It was an inevitable reality that the world was going to bend to his will at some point. That is the kind of self-belief that pushes boundaries. The kind of belief that is crazy enough to think that it's possible, even if no one thinks otherwise. And then you keep pushing forward. You keep pushing forward, making the world bend to your will. Edison didn't wait for permission or proof, but he kept going. His relentless pursuit gave him the grace to keep moving forward. Every failed attempt was a reason to show him that we are there. Don't stop. We are getting there. At the end of the day, his invention shaped the world. Yes. I know some of you might think that, Judith, that sounds like some hell mambo jumbo. And you know what? Maybe you're right. But let me tell you, self-help has some way of actually helping us. Think about it. You had this friend who constantly tells you, Judith, you're not beautiful enough. You're not smart enough. You try to do something, you think of an idea, and then they tell you, many people have gone before you, and do you have the resources? You try doing something. Where are you going to get the support that you need? They're giving you excuses on how you can't. I started by saying the question isn't, is it possible? The question is, are you willing to believe in yourself enough to make it happen? That is Edison, Thomas Edison for you. Our minds, that is what I started by saying, our minds are fascinating machines designed to give us whatever it is that we want out of this life. So you have no excuse. You have no excuse. And this is something, it's unstoppable force within each and every one of us. It's not for the chosen few, for all of us. Yes? All of us. All of us. But here's the catch. You have to tell your mind what to believe. You have to program it. When you truly believe something is possible, and that is what I started with, when you believe something is possible, your mind kicks into action, shifting how you see yourself, how you interpret challenges, how you respond to setbacks. Your mind starts to find ways, solutions, creative pathways to move you closer to your vision. When you believe that something is possible, everything else starts to work itself out. Everything starts aligning when we are willing to believe. Opportunities start appearing. If you, for example, you believe that this is your season to find a job, opportunities start appearing everywhere. And this relates to what I talked about, the car theory. It's a video that I have done before. You can go check it out. If it's your season for marriage, people start showing up. Yes? Everything starts aligning when we are willing to believe. Opportunities that seemed impossible don't seem distant anymore. They seem just like a matter of time. So, with each step we take, even the small ones, reinforces our self-belief. Each act of courage builds momentum, making the journey as transformative as the goal itself. So I want to encourage you to be that delusional friend. Don't let your mind be your own enemy. Be that delusional friend who is always cheering for you. Be your own high person. Tell yourself awesome things every single day. For example, I tell myself, tell yourself things like, I am beautiful just the way I am, and I honor my whole being with unconditional love. I have a special place in this world, and I am worth living this life. I am the creator of my world, and I believe that it all starts with me. My past is gone, and it has no power over me. My future is filled with opportunities, and I believe that I can achieve all of my dreams. So I choose to rewrite my story with love and wisdom. Say that to yourself every day. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You walk around feeling awesome. Not a bad side effect, right? So, in the end, the difference between those who live extraordinary lives and those who don't comes down to this. Those who succeed are just crazy enough to think it's possible, and then they go out and make it happen. They're the ones who push through the doubt, the ones who stand firm when others falter. They are the ones who dare to see what's on the other side of fear. So the question isn't, is it possible? The question is, are you willing to believe in yourself enough to make it happen? Are you willing to believe in yourself? Are you willing to believe in your vision so fiercely that it propels you to move forward no matter the obstacles? Because if you are, then there's no limit to what you can achieve. I promise you, there's no limit to what you can achieve. So, believe boldly, act courageously, and let your self-belief be the force that shapes your destiny. Let your self-belief be the force that shapes your destiny. Because self-belief is the birthplace of greatness. That's what I had for today, guys. Thank you so much for giving me a few minutes of your time. It's always a pleasure. For the new subscribers, karibu sana. Feel at home. The returning subscribers, you guys are my family, and I don't take your support for granted. And those who haven't subscribed, please go subscribe. Hit that notification bell. It's somewhere there. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out each time I post a video. And until next time, have an inspiring and a glorious time. See you.